Hello, this recording is part of a series of recordings designed to help you with the data entry of an incident record. In this segment, we'll begin to explore the General tab, starting in the Details section and specifically looking at the incident number, file number, and date time fields. Before we get to those fields, we need to navigate to our incident data forms. If you're not already in the Data Forms component, click on the Data Forms in the navigation pane, and then click on the incident almost halfway up the screen. And then over on the right hand side in the viewing pane, click on the Add button. If you happen to find that some fields appear to be partially cut off and you have to scroll to the left to see them all completely, you can unpin the listing pane just to the left to collapse it and free up more screen space so you can see the data form more prominently. If you hover your mouse over top of that Incidents tab, that will temporarily bring that listing pane back. And you can also click on the pin icon again to repin it back to the window. In any new data form, the fields with red text are required to be completed. If you attempt to save the record before completing all of the fields, the system will display a message requesting completion of those fields. Starting off, the first field we can see is the incident number field. Perspective will automatically assign an incident number when the record is saved. Although you can click in the field, you cannot enter any data here. If applicable, you can also enter in a file or reference number under the file number field. The e-incident number field is reserved for electronic reports that have been accepted from the gateway into Perspective. Like the incident number field, this is locked and data cannot be entered on this field. To the right, we can see our date time fields. The reported date time, occurred from date and time, and occurred to date and time. You'll notice that the reported and occurred from date time fields will automatically display the current date and time from your computer when you click Add. These can be changed to reflect the appropriate date times for those fields as needed. To enter or update a date time field, you have three options. You can manually type in the date and time, specifying AM or PM if relevant. You can place your cursor anywhere in the date time field and either click on the up-down arrow or use the arrow on your keyboard to also populate the field. A third option is to click on the calendar button and select today's date, and then update the time appropriately. The three sets of roll-ups are not only important for the data captured within them, but also for the analysis that can be done on these fields, which can produce more detailed statistical, trending, and charting options. These are hierarchical fields, meaning that the option selected in the first field determines the options that are available in the second field, third field, and fourth field. Let's start with the incidence classification using the class, category, subcategory, and type fields. From the class field, choose the most appropriate, such as criminal or non-criminal. You can only choose one value at each level, so if you choose a class of criminal, then the categories below will display those choices deemed to be criminal in nature, such as fire. You can continue classifying the incident using the subcategory and type fields to more accurately classify the incident. In this case, an arson that created major damage. Using the site list, we can indicate the physical location of where the incident occurred. Just as with the class list, you can use all four levels of the list if needed, as long as all four levels have choices within them. The final list is the business unit, levels 1 through 4. These are most often relabeled to identify the business unit of your organization that was affected by the incident, such as company divisions or departments. Underneath the roll-up lists is the summary field. This text box is typically used to write a brief yet concise summary of the overall incident. More detailed information can be added later in the narrative section. A spell check box may appear if you have a misspelled word according to your dictionary, allowing you to fix any errors before saving. We can now save this record to see our incident number.